Hi everyone, it's me Isa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 5 different savings fund you need to own. Alam naman natin na sa panahon ngayon, mahalaga ang may ipon, and through the years, talagang napapatunayan natin kung gaano ka-importante na meron tayong madudukot sa mga panahon gaya nito, pandemya. So in today's video, I am hoping I can share with you the 5 different saving funds that will revolutionize your finances, that will help you get back on track or build you a better future. So if you're ready, let's get started. First on the list is emergency fund. An emergency fund is 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses saved for emergency situations. Emergency situations gaya ng pag nawalan ka ng trabaho, if there's an emergency in the family, whether it be medical or a sudden death. Kasama na rin kapag may kailangan kang home or car repair, kailangan paggawa yung bahay, kailangan paggawa yung sasakyan, o kaya naman kapag may natural disaster na nangyari, either nasunugan o kaya naman bumagyo at kailangan talaga ng calamity fund na magagamit ang pamilya. When we have an emergency fund, naiiwasan natin mangutang, either mangutang sa 5-6 o kaya mangutang sa kapitbahay or mangutang sa trabaho like a salary loan, SSS, GSIS, at kung ano-ano pang loans na kukunin natin. Another benefit of an emergency fund is the fact na meron tayong peace of mind. Alam natin sa sarili natin na kung may mangyari mang hindi inaasahan, meron tayong perang madudukot. Also, another benefit of having an emergency fund is it provides you an option to invest your money. I've always mentioned this one na without an emergency fund or any savings at all, ang hirap mag-invest ng pera. Lagi kang natatakot, alam mo yon? Kasi as we all know, investing comes with a risk and you don't want to put everything sa investment, 'di ba? Kailangan mo ring magtira ng pera para naman meron kang magamit sa mga pangangailangan mo. So how much do you need for your emergency fund? Financial advocates suggest 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses. And the reason for that is a study shows that it will take 3 to 6 months for a person who met an emergency situation to go back sa dati niyang life, yung makabangon siya, kumbaga. Now, kung hindi mo alam yung monthly expenses mo, hindi ka nagpa-budget, another way to do the emergency fund is to save up 3 to 6 months worth of your salary. Masyado nga lang yung malaki. Lalo na if you're living below your means naman, o kaya maliit lang naman expenses mo compared sa salary, it could be too much for you to handle. So, bigyan natin ng example yung emergency fund. Sabihin natin na ang sweldo mo ay 15,000 pesos, ang magiging emergency fund mo ay 45,000 pesos as a salary. Kapag naman tinignan natin yung monthly expenses, which is mapatak lang ng 12,000, ang magiging emergency fund mo ay 36,000 pesos. So how can you save up for an emergency fund? I think out of all the funds in this video, isa ang emergency fund sa pinakamahirap i-save up. Kasi mas madali siyang i-delay, mas madali siyang wag na lang intindihin. Kasi gaya nga ng emergency siya, hindi mo naman alam kung darating siya sa buhay mo or hindi, di ba? So, you find it hard to save up for it. But, I am telling you, kapag pagtagumpayan mo siya, kapag nakapag-build up ka, kahit baby emergency fund pa yan, you become more financially confident. And I think that's what we are all need to aim for. Nung na-build ko yung emergency fund ko, kahit na ang liit lang niya, no, compared sa different emergency funds na nakikita ko sa ibang tao, it was a great fulfillment sa akin. And different pa to dun sa 100,000 video ko na na-save and invest ko. So, I still have a different emergency fund bukod pa dun. So, one good tip that I have for you to be able to save up for an emergency fund is to focus on saving at least 10 to 20% of your income. Automatically, lagay mo sa yung emergency fund. You can actually open a secondary savings account bukod dun sa payroll account mo or any other account na ginagamit mo para dedicated lang siya doon. The next fund is the debt payment fund. Now, this fund applies kung meron kang utang. Alam nyo, getting rid of debt is a wonderful feeling and it's actually the best investment you can do in yourself right now para yung future self mo ay pasasalamatan ka. Debt shouldn't be taken lightly and it should be dealt with habang maaga pa. habang kaunti pa lang, wala pa masyadong interest na na-earn yung utang natin, mas maganda is i-tackle na natin. So, how much do you need for your debt payment fund? It depends kung magkano ang iyong utang. I have tackled this on a previous video, but you can actually do two different methods in dealing with your debt. Number one is the avalanche method, kung saan mas babayaran mo yung mga malalaking utang, whether it be the biggest in terms of amount or in terms of interest. And then there's also the debt snowball, kung saan babayaran mo naman yung mga nililit na utang hanggang matapos sila. And again, this could be whether on the amount or maliit in terms of the interest. So, dun siya magma-matter. Ang mahalaga dito guys, para makuha ninyo yung amount na kailangan nyo for your debt payment fund is you have a breakdown, you have a list of the debts that you have. So how can you save up for a debt payment fund? Now, paying debt on a low income can be a real challenge. So, syempre, limited lang yung sources natin, limited yung income na meron tayo, and we still have to pay for our bills and as much as possible, save up kahit pa paano for emergency situations. So, a great tip for me is to have a secondary income or secondary source of income. And then, make sure that you include your debt payment on your monthly budget. The third fund is the investment fund. So, as early as now, try to invest your money. Investing is a good way that you can make your money work for you and not against you. When we say investing, it means we are putting our money at work. We are putting our money on something that could potentially give us a return of investment or could potentially grow. So now, how much do you need to own for your investment fund? Gaya ng debt payment fund, this will definitely depend on the investment vehicle that you will invest into. There are investment vehicles for as low as 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, and you can actually start with that one. Kapag naman pupunta ka agad ng mataas, which is stock market, as much as possible, like 25 to 50,000 yung kailangan mong investment para hindi masunog yung pera mo. So, hindi rin naman pwede na maliit dahil may board lot na tinitingnan yan. So, now, how do you save up for your investment fund? So, yung flow nito actually is, the emergency fund is the very first one, the non-negotiable one. And then, kung may debt ka na malaki, you need to have your debt payment fund. Now, the investment fund is actually kind of like an optional in a way, lalo na kapag hindi ka naman financially ready to really commit to an investment. So, a way for you to save up for your investment fund is to actually cut back on expenses na hindi naman necessary or pwede naman natin talagang tanggalin. For example, you can give way for a movie subscription or music subscription instead. Tapos yung money doon, ipunin natin in order to provide for our investment fund. Another way, actually, itong burst season is the season to invest dahil maraming perang mga tao due to bonuses. That's another way to really use your bonus well para feeling mo hindi naman sila naubos lang ng isang iglap, diba? Kahit pa paano may natira sa'yo because you invested in yourself. So, that's another way to build up for your investment fund. Next is a sinking fund. A sinking fund is a small amount you set aside every week, every month, or every quarter for a specific goal. When we say sinking fund, alam na natin kung ano yung expense and we're working backwards in order to save up for it. It could be expenses such as your budget for the Christmas or the holidays, kung ano yung pagbibilin mo ng mga gifts o kaya panghanda. You can also put up a sinking fund for a future travel. Kapag pwede na ulit tayo mag-travel, like an El Nido trip, o kaya your first trip to Korea, trip to Europe, that could be a form of sinking fund as well. Sinking fund often refers to the short-term savings account. For example, you want to give gifts to your family, to your friends, to your office mates this coming Christmas. Yung usual na nangyayari is, kung kailan Pasko na or 2 weeks before that Christmas happen, is tsaka tayo bumibili, tsaka tayo nag-i-spend gamit yung salary natin o kaya 13th month bonus. Now, the sinking fund actually avoids this one. What happens is, ngayon pa lang, September, nag-iipon ka na ng pera on that said activity. Okay? So, for example, you know that you have a budget of 5,000 pesos for gifts to your family. And ilan kayo sa family? 5. So that means meron kang tagwa 1,000 na budget for each of the family member. Ang mangyayari, ngayon pa lang September, nag-iipon ka na 500 every week. So that's how sinking fund works. So how much do you need for your sinking fund? This will depend kung ano yung goal na gusto nating aim or kung ano yung bagay na gusto nating bilhin. So the very best thing to do when you are doing the sinking fund is to have a list of your goals. Any short-term goals, anything that is achievable in 6 months to 1 year. And then you can go on kung ano yung pinaka-priority mo that should happen. Learning about it is truly a game changer. Kahit ako personally sa finances ko, nung nalaman ko yung idea ng sinking fund, it became such a part of what I want to do every year. Kasi alam ko na sa sarili ko yung mga expenses na typical na ginagawa ko eh. Kaya nga nung example ng Christmas gifts o kaya buying my domain or pre-pandemic, I used to travel every year during my birth week. So, yung mga yun na expenses, I put up a sinking fund for them. And the best way I found to save up an emergency fund is to really put them in your budget. Put as little amount as you can.
Hanggang sa unti-unti, mabuo mo yung money na kailangan mo for that sinking fund.
Last but definitely not the least is retirement fund. Retirement fund is the money you save up for your retirement years. For you to really reap off or harvest kung ano man yung mga ginawa nating pagpupursige nung meron pa tayong active income or nung mga panahon na nagtatrabaho tayo. Now, retirement is very personal. I think the very first question that you need to ask yourself is, how do you picture your retirement years? Are you someone who feels like you're retiring at 35, that young? Or are you someone na nakikita mo sarili mo that when you retire, you will travel all over the world? Or are you someone na okay ka na basta magkaroon lang ng bahay sa probinsya, di ba? Sa likod, meron dong beach and you can actually live off with that one. How much do you need? Again, nowadays, hindi ka na pwedeng mabuhay ng SSS lang, GSIS. Another, hindi ka naman pwedeng mabuhay na umaasa sa mga anak mo because yung mga anak mo, syempre, in the future, magkakaroon din sila ng kanya-kanyang buhay na gusto nilang supportahan. So, how can you save for a retirement fund? Save up and commit any amount you can do monthly, quarterly. Really put amount to your retirement. And again, mas bata ka, mas maliit yung pwede mo ditong i-spend for your retirement fund. Unlike kapag mas malapit ka na on when you will retire. Also, try to find out retirement calculators online that you can check out para mas aware ka kung magkano ba talaga yung retirement fund na kailangan mo sa iyong sarili. Because again, as I mentioned, very personal ang retirement and iba-iba tayo ng amount na kakailanganin. So again, just to recap, here are the 5 different saving funds. Number 1, emergency fund. Number 2, debt payment fund. Number 3, investment fund. Number 4, sinking fund. Number 5, retirement fund. Now, let me know in the comment section which of the following fund are you committing to start before 2021 ends, and ano yung mga fund dito na nabanggit ang napagtagumpayan mo na o meron ka na. So that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you do like this type of content, please do subscribe and like this video. Thank you!